What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Body Activation Explorations, Shoulder Elevation and Depression. How those shoulder blades are going up and down towards the ears and towards the feet. We start off with that journaling exercise. How's the body feeling, everybody? You feeling okay? Accurately describe how you feel. Get specific, how those shoulders feeling, how's the back feeling, and then how does it affect how you move? We're going to do between 6 to 12 repetitions on each side. Make sure that those repetitions are pain-free and no cramping. The control pace is 3 seconds up and 3 seconds down. And we're looking for that position that feels the best and the motion that is the most difficult to control, because we're going to build an exercise around that later. So keep an eye out for that, especially with that journaling. So here comes Brandon. We're going to go through our elevation and depression. I'm going to walk the camera around so you get a couple different angles of this, is how that shoulder is going towards the ear and towards the foot. So as he brings that shoulder down, he's actually trying to press the shoulder towards the foot and then raise the shoulder towards the ear. And you can see this from the side and from the back, how that shoulder blade wants to raise up towards the ear. Try to keep that head from going in side to side, and make sure that you can really feel those muscles around the shoulder, squeeze it up, and then slowly bring it down. And as we're going through this motion, take note if one side feels like it's smooth to go up, or is it tough to push down, or do they both go up equally? As you're doing this, the neck should feel fine, the back should feel fine. If there's any tightness beforehand, does it actually help clear up some of that tightness, or does it make it feel not so good? So we can go through anywhere between 6 to 12 on each side, but if the first to 4 don't feel quite so good, just go to the next position. You may have a completely different experience in the next position. So here's Brandon in that seated position as he raises the shoulder up and down. It's all very similar. It's very easy, and this is a really good opportunity to dial in how that shoulder blade feels on your rib cage, because that sucker's just sliding up and down. And let that arm just come along for the ride. Notice if it wants to go out to the side or if it wants to spin. What does it really want to do? Just make sure that you're doing it easily instead of forcing it. So take your time with it, write down what you're experiencing, and make sure that it just is comfortable and freeing to go through that motion rather than forced. That's why we're doing it pretty slow. The feedback of this is to build the exercise later. It's all about positions of safety. The more positions you build of safety, the better the body is going to feel, and also the better it's going to move, because you're going to trust it. If you have more trust in these positions because you've practiced them, the better quality movement you're going to have in your arm and shoulder and the rest of your body. And that's what makes this process so unique, is what you're going through right now is setting up the strength and the empowerment of the shoulder, so that if you want to raise the arm out to the side or you want to raise it up overhead, that shoulder blade is in the right position at the right time. And then how does that relate to how the rest of the torso is feeling? So as Brandon is on his back, he's going through exactly what he did in the standing, seated, and side-lying position. It may feel completely different, or you may get different participation in your neck or the back, or maybe even the other parts of the body, like in the legs. It's very interesting to see what the body chooses to feel as you change up all of these positions. Now, as you take note of what you feel, you create a baseline. Is this going to change over time, or is it going to stay the same? That's exactly why we're taking notes and writing this stuff down. In the sideline position, Brandon is making sure that his head is stabilized by his bottom arm, and he slides that shoulder up and down, and that hand acts as a stabilizer on his thigh. So he slides the hand up the thigh by use of those neck and shoulder muscles, pulling the shoulder up and then driving the shoulder towards the feet, nice and slowly and confidently. And from this position, we're going to go to our stomach. We're going to go to the right side as it raises and lowers towards the ear and towards the feet. just that shoulder blade sliding along the bed or the couch or the floor, depending on what position you feel comfortable in or what orientation. Like, is it okay to get on the floor and do this? It's totally fine. We like to use the massage table because it's easy to move around and it provides some comfortable support and it slides very well. So having a mat on the ground can help a lot. And if you don't have a mat, that's fine too. Carpeting works really well for this to have a surface to slide. It's a little more difficult on like a hardwood floor, of course. So make sure that it's nice and comfortable in the position that you choose. Switch up side to side, go 12 on one side or 8 to 12 on one side, then 8 to 12 on the other. Feel those shoulder muscles working as you pull it up, and then the rib cage muscles as you're driving it down towards the feet. It's nice, simple movement. It's nice and easy, and just really enrich that and soak up that information that the body's telling you so that you can journal that down along the way to have a great baseline for how this is going to change for the next time that you go through it. So this brings us back to our journaling process in comparison. How does how you feel now compare to when you started? Get even more specific with it. Use those words to describe exactly how you feel rather than just skipping it. And then how does how you feel affect how you move now? Has it changed? So now that you have found the position that feels safe and the motion that is the most difficult to control, let's build an exercise.